morning. Welcome to Ice Cream on the 22nd of October. Once again, I had to look down at my calendar. Clearly know what date I'm on. I do know the day, thankfully. It's Tuesday, the 22nd of October, as I just bring up the nameplates for those watching on our video services. My name is Graham Day, and the man waving at you, if you're watching on screen, is Mr. Bibby at We've Got Bibino.
Good morning, it's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday, and it's 10 a.m.-ish, so we're live for another episode of The Scoop. And The Scoop is the daily scoop of news from the games industry and beyond that we feel we want to discuss with you guys right here live on twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. And if you miss it, if you're late in and you want to see what happened, you can always go check out the video on demand, or we will be putting the video on YouTube. That's Ice Cream Uploads on YouTube. That'll be on live within the hour from this show finishing. And then, for those of you that want something to listen to while you're driving around, or maybe just having a mooch around a shopping centre or something, you want us right in your ears, and we will be on your favourite podcast services. That's iTunes, that's Spotify, that's SoundCloud, and now not exclusively, but now we also have
Google Play.
Yeah, Google Play. So if you are in the chat, please feel free to drop messages. This is twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. Come along, come say hello if you're not here now and you listen to us on podcast services. And join in tomorrow. We are live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 10 a.m. on Twitch. And we discuss things, news, words, articles.
All the things that we find interesting. Oh, that's actually brand new because it just seems to be that nobody's reporting on news at the moment, so we might have to make some stuff up.
Slow news week. Just some news I'm going to report on. It's quite interesting.
Well, there you go.
That's a nice jacket you've got there, babe.
Thanks, mate. It's a Resident Evil one. It's got the same emblem on the back, but just bigger. But yeah, I really like this jacket.
Snazzy. This is a top man jacket.
Is that a cardigan underneath?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's doubling up.
I was cold this morning. It's quite a thick t-shirt, and then I've got a cardigan for those of you on podcast services. Plain white t-shirt. Well, it's not plain. I've got bits on the sleeve. Grey cardigan, like the granddad I am. And,
I love a good cardi. It's been a while since I've wore a cardi, but obviously we're going into winter season now, so bomber jackets, cardigans, jumpers.
If you wear a cardigan, we can call you Cardi B.
No.
Cardi B?
No. I'm never wearing a cardigan again.
This is it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Welcome to Ice Cream with myself, Graham Day, and Cardi B, I-B-B-Y.
I don't think I've ever listened to any Cardi B before, so I'm not having that.
I've not listened to Cardi B, to be fair. I mean, I've heard bits, but then again, I don't know if it's Cardi B.
Yeah.
I don't know. Welcome. We are cool and listen to musical things on Ice Cream.
All the pop songs.
Talking about popular things, let's get into some news. Today we have 5 pieces of content that we felt we wanted to discuss with you guys. Or, do you know what, discuss in front of you guys, whichever. If you listen to podcast services, you can't really talk to us. I mean, you can do, but walking through, like, Selfridges or whatever shopping centre you may be
You look like a mentalist. The only way to describe that.
But if you don't want to look like a mentalist, then get involved. Twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. As we jump into our first article of the day. This is a Eurogamer piece of content as I bring it up on screen.
No.
And we're also on screen for those of you that are on video services. So this is a Eurogamer article written by Imogen Beckhelling. This, for all you PC players out there, is probably some big news. This... Oh. Are we starting... we're going to do a different one. I thought we were doing a different one, but this is good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay.
So we are starting with... It's still big news, but this is actually from Matt Wales, not Imogen Beckhelling. That's a different one altogether. I didn't say that.
That's my fault.
So you can now play your local multiplayer Steam games online with friends. This is a new feature rolling out by Steam called Remote Play Together, and the beta is live. So this is the article by Matt Wales on Eurogamer.net. Steam's previously reported Remote Play Together feature, so I'll say that again, Remote Play Together feature, which makes it possible for friends to play local multiplayer games together online, is now available in beta form. According to a Steam blog post, Remote Play Together works... That's such a mouthful.
It is. It's daft. But...
Like remote play or play together.
Remote play together.
Remote play together. Anyway, Remote Play Together works with any game that supports local co-op, local multiplayer, or shared/split screen functionality, and it works with up to 4 players, although Valve notes that more players might be possible in ideal conditions. To get involved in the beta, interested parties will first need to join Steam's beta branch and download the latest build. Next, it's simply a matter of launching any supported local multiplayer game and then inviting a friend by the Steam overlay. friends don't need to own the games themselves, and then use the remote play together option. And that's it. Valve says that voice chat is enabled, and that controllers will act as if they're directly plugged into the host's computer, and that's on PC, Macs, and Linux. They're all supported. Additionally, the host can share control of their keyboard and mouse, and as far as privacy goes, Valve notes that friends will only ever be able to see the host's game, not their desktop or other top secret stuff. Baby's special folder. They're always looking to make use of Steam's remote play together feature. Can filter search results on the platform using the local multiplayer, local co-op, and shared split-screen checkboxes. Valve says thousands of titles are compatible. Pretty tasty news.
Absolutely. I mean, PlayStation have done this since they released the console, I think. I think it came out of the box in 2014. However, the Steam library is a lot more vibrant. Is that the word? There's a lot more to it than the PlayStation market.
Yeah.
As well as the games are hella cheaper on Steam than they are compared to the PlayStation.
Which is a very
physical.
nice and very recent thing to me. I've been console up until, say, like within the last year or so. I've not had any option for PC. So for me, playing those games, it's either 45 quid or 30 to 20 quid if you wait a little bit. Whereas now it's like 48p and you get 1,200 games.
With the beautiful websites that are able to give you discounts, major discounts, shall I say. I'd love... all they need to do is just get a better graphics card and more RAM. And then I'm fairly certain that I'm probably not even going to pick up a PlayStation 5 for that reason. I very rarely turn mine on to play a very few selected games on the PlayStation, mainly the exclusives and the games that my friends play, but I spend all my time playing on the PC, so I save a lot of money this way.
Still spend a lot of time on the PlayStation. This will probably make it a bit more enticing for me to start spending more time on the PC, in terms of the fact that things like, let's go back to our roots, sort of the Master League stuff. I love a Master League co-op campaign. I love playing through with someone. I mean, we've started it on streams and got absolutely battered. The idea of being able to do that when we're not physically in the studio together and continue that sort of content is great for me. And this essentially starts to open that branch. I mean, let's stick with PES and let's throw in the modding scene. I mean, you get an absolutely modded to the tits version of PES on PC, and then two
best way to play.
Master League.
The best way to play. It's not just that. Obviously, if you've got a Steam Link, I've got a Steam Link, and it works really well in my front room. So, like,
I call bullshit. I've played you with your Steam Link.
I had pauper internet back then, though. It's been upgraded since then. But playing a game that's like, what was we playing? And I was playing on that. Was it PUBG?
Yeah, it was. That's probably why you hate PUBG so much.
Yeah, I had to play with my Xbox 360 controller, and it was just naff. Like, it just didn't work properly. Like, all the buttons and the key combos that are assigned to your keyboard do not translate well from a PC onto that, unless I've just used the completely wrong keys or whatever. But it just didn't work well. But you can use a mouse and keyboard on it in the Steam Link if I wanted to. I just didn't have a mouse and keyboard that was wireless.
I just sat there in the living room with wires trailing over on the stairs.
So I didn't think that was a viable option. But the Steam Link, when I'm playing stuff like, what was I playing on that? The Evil Within and PES and stuff like that, it works flawlessly.
Awesome.
If you've got decent internet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to go PS5 when it comes, and maybe Xbox Project Scarlett when that comes as well, more on that later. But this kind of entices me and gives me a little bit more reason to start using the PC for more than just being the peripheral that gets people to watch me get my ass kicked on PUBG PS4. Shout out to Dadland Gaming, says, morning gents in the chat, everyone else that's there lurking, morning. As I just, bear with me 1 second, because I'm going to open my knockoff Aldi's own brand Yakult yogurt drink. Because
well, while you're doing that then, I'll schedule the original article that we're supposed to listen to, and it's a beautiful segue because, again, it still involves having Steam. But you can hide your purses. Free upcoming Steam sale dates have now been linked. This is an article that's on Eurogamer again.
What? Linked?
Linked. Did I say linked?
You said linked.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm linking you to the article that's on Eurogamer. Has been written by Imogen Beckhelling. So, here we go. Here's hoping you've been saving your pennies, as a free Steam update sales have now leaked via Twitter. According to the leak, the very first sale, the Halloween one of course, will start next week and run till the 28th of October until the 1st of November. This will be followed by the autumn sale from the 26th of November and December 3rd. Then finally the winter sale between 19th of December and the 2nd of January.
The autumn sale ends on December the 3rd. That's an interesting day. Imagine if beautiful people were born on that. Oh, it's my birthday! God. Yeah, end the sale on my birthday. Cheers.
They should be able to use all your birthday money on that one single day. This info comes courtesy of the Steam database on Twitter, which has been a reliable source of these leaks of nature in the past. Source for leaks of this nature in the past. Jesus, leaks of nature. Those dates come from multiple developers who post in multiple places, despite Valve asking otherwise. But you know how that goes. The only thing that we don't know exactly is which games will be on offer, but with so many sales in a short period of time, there's bound to be something we all want to splash our cash on. It's also a great opportunity to try out some of the games for cheap that you might otherwise not have bothered with, or gather a bunch of titles for fun Halloweening. Okay.
So, basically what we've said to start the show, and Connor says, here's me asking for an advance of my pay by 4 months. Basically, what that is to start the show is Steam is having a sale, well, having 3 sales between now and Christmas. 28th of October to 1st of November, as you can see top of the screen there. 28th of October to 1st of November, 26th of November to 3rd of December, and 19th of December to January 2nd. So basically, around the payday period for October, November, and December, there are going to be Steam sales for Halloween, autumn, and winter. And as well as that, Steam has also just rolled out remote play together, so you can play games, couch co-op games, as if you were playing couch co-op, even though you might be on 2 different couches.
Is December the 19th the day that we finish work this year?
Ish. December the 19th is Thursday, which is Christmas due day.
Yeah.
We are working on December the 20th.
Okay, and then when do you come back in?
January the 7th.
That's what I'm talking about. That's when we come back into it. We've booked a few days off and around there, so that to me screams of a few streams coming up over the Christmas period for us.
Day 7. Graham is still drunk. The sausage rolls are almost empty. Bibby has 1 more pig in a blanket left to eat. Does he take it now? Does he make it last? Find out after 6 more games of Master League.
He absolutely fucking takes his pigs in back. He ain't leaving no pigs behind.
No pigs left behind.
Sorry about that.
A couple of shout outs to Ed Sutton, thank you very much for the host, and Pirate, thank you very much for the hosting.
Good morning, sirs.
If you are here, if you're lingering, if you're watching, if you feel free to drop a host on the channel if you want. Make sure you hit the follow button if you haven't done already. It's good to have you guys here with us in the chat. So let's take some responses from the chat. Who has Steam? Who has a PC capable of running Steam as well? And
It's this one. That's the one I wanted. That's the one I want. I need to relabel these.
So look, I'll show you guys. Look, there's my snazzy Grandad cardigan underneath my jacket. It's quite chilly in the studio this one. The thing is, let's give you a bit of story for people watching and listening on all of the Ice Cream Uploads formats. We have, as you can hear, a nice desk studio setup. We have backlighting, uplighting. We have big ceiling mounted lights, and we also have just the general lighting within the room as well if we want to just add a little bit more. All of that stuff combined with the streaming PCs, our laptops, and 2 hot hunk of men that left before we started the show. Yeah, it gets quite warm in this room, but it's...
I haven't put the aircon on either.
It can start off quite cool, which is why I'm like double layering on top of a t-shirt. So yeah, in a bit I may be like bow, 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 losing a jacket.
Get the titties out.
So Pirate says, I use Steam. Does remote play together appeal to you, Pirate? I don't know if you caught that. Basically, Steam is having 3 sales within the next couple of months, and another feature that is just rolling out into beta is remote play together. So you can do couch co-op gameplay, but with people that are in different locations. Does that appeal? Let us know.
I really want to try out the Outer Worlds that comes out on Friday. I am desperate to try that.
What is the Outer Worlds?
It's basically the people who made Fallout New Vegas. We'll let the chat watch it as well. So the trailer got released last week, I think it was, but it's been in a game that's been...
It's probably best to not play it, because then we just kind of like screw everyone over listening on podcast services.
I'll mute it. So yeah, this is the game. Boom, boom. So it's from the people who made Fallout New Vegas. As far as I'm aware, most of the development team over there, so you can see that it's kind of like Borderlandish, what do you call it?
Destiny?
Art style.
And mixed with Destiny, like dudes in suits with lights and helmets and stuff.
Yeah, but it's an RPG. So as you can imagine, you go around and you travel, you rank you level up your guns, you level up yourself, you level up your character in different ways. You It's just your typical RPG kind of game. But I love the art style, and it's from people who created one of my favourite games. So there's absolutely every chance that I'm going to be playing and streaming this at some point. But yeah, it's definitely my kind of game. I can't believe it's coming out so soon. That and Call of Duty both coming out on the same day.
I know. I saw something yesterday, a tweet, and saying this is why the games industry is so screwed, or this is why smaller developers can go out of business, because it was like first week of October, nothing. Second week of October, nothing. Third week of October, nothing. Fourth week of October is like Modern Warfare. There's like 4 games coming out in the same
You definitely try and avoid it, but I mean, the other companies like this must have massive bollocks to want to be able to post this on the same day that highly anticipated Call of Duty is coming out.
It's probably more a case of it's not so much the massive bollocks. They've probably gone, let's look at when Call of Duty is launched in the past. Modern Warfare's have launched in November's, so maybe they're going to launch in November. We will give it a 2-week grace period, and we'll launch on the 25th of October, and then Modern Warfare goes out on PlayStation 1st, October 25th, and they're like, fuck!
Yeah. So yeah, for those of you that were watching in the chat or watching on YouTube later on, that was the trailer for The Outer Worlds. I'm assuming that most of you have probably played a Fallout game, are interested in any kind of first-person RPG. I would 100% advise you to go and watch the trailer and just make your own mind up about it. But it's definitely something that I'm excited to play anyway.
What do you think of... Did we touch on Fallout 76? I think you and Connor touched on Fallout 76 being delayed on the Friday.
Yeah, the NPC... The game's out, but there was meant to be putting a single-player aspect in with the NPCs, and once again, it's been delayed till 2020.
And what are your thoughts on that? See, I wanted to kind of like chip in there, although I was on the train, so I couldn't really add anything, but I was sat in the Bethesda E3 conference where the tone that they had was kind of like... I mean, not direct quotes, which you might be able to guess. Look, guys, we fucked up.
No, that sounds legit.
So they basically said, look, we understand we've ballsed up with Fallout. We've taken a lot of the stuff that people like. People like the NPCs. They like the engagement with people, even though they're not real people in game and that sort of stuff. And we realise it's not the Fallout experience that everybody wanted. So we are gonna deliver that in what's the expansion called? Is it like Wildlands, Wastelands, or Wonderlands?
Christ knows, can't remember.
Walking in a Winter Wonderland.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe in time for Christmas 2020.
So yeah, they decided that we're gonna make up for it. We're gonna roll this update out. But I reckon what's probably happened is you look at the amount of backlash that they've had. Bethesda have clearly thought we need to get on the E3 hype, or we need to get out to release in a certain window. I mean, we've just been talking about release windows and games launching on the same day potentially being shit for companies. Maybe they've thought, crap, this is the perfect window, so let's get out there, whether it's ready or not, and just make the money, and it's going to be good, and everyone loves Fallout, and they've realised that people tend to like Bethesda, so they've probably thought, we'll get away with it. But then they've realised, okay, you've just butchered the game that I love. So Bethesda then have gone, okay, well, we're going to release the update that gives you everything. And then it's come to it, and they realise, fuck, this is actually shitloads of work that we'd not anticipated for. And if we roll it out, people are already, like, searching for the cracks. People know this faults. So if we roll it out and it's not flawless, then we're going to get screwed. So they've probably just gone, actually, not quite right. We can't do that again. Let's move it back, which is good, but you've got to wonder, by the time Fallout 76 comes out, it could be the year 2176, and are people going to still be interested enough to forgive them by that?
Well, I've just had a look at the date because I thought it might have been early this year that it came out, but it wasn't. It was the 14th of November 2018, so it's going to be over a year before they actually give you a patch that would have been worth playing. But again, they've delayed it now, so it's going to be at least 14 months until the game comes out that's actually playable for most people. Now, I don't know whether or not it was the same team that worked on the likes of Fallout 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. It's definitely not the New Vegas team because they're not even there anymore, but I don't know what their roadmap was for this. I don't think they would have ever released it.
That roadmap is like in pieces.
Absolutely,
on the floor down there, burning away somewhere.
Because like you said, if they wanted to release it in time for nothing else coming out and they just wanted to get it out, then that was that's their downfall. They've got to live with that because they probably knew that it was going to be a bad decision, but from a sales standpoint going into the Christmas period, it probably would have been the best time for them. But the game quickly bombed. Like, I don't even think it made it. So I think it probably ended up in the January bargain bin by the time it came out. So for me, it was the wrong decision. I think they know that.
I strongly believe that is the reason Doom isn't out. They've thought, well, we've fucked up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, guys, we fucked up. Actual quote from E3, not actual quote, by the way. And they've gone, okay, Doom isn't flawless. It's probably 80%, 90% of the way there, but that 10% now is going to look like 50% flawless.
Yeah, the 10% has to be everything to them, especially with how good the Doom 2016 was. Everyone's going to be hyped for this one. Just take your time with it. I would much rather people take the time with the games and wait for it to be in a state that they are extremely happy with, rather than a game coming out and then patching the hell out of it 6 months later, or in Fallout 76's cases, about 15 months later.
76. Like I said, that's 76. That's the amount of months it takes to get the full game after you.
42. According to whatever this is, I think it's 42% of the people like this game. That's horrific for a Fallout game.
And I think that is the reason why. I mean, you look at a game getting such a huge patch, a patch that has been pushed through E3 and beyond so long after it. That's how big an impact that 42 score rating is, because they know they done fucked up.
Yeah.
So it'll take time for them to get that patch out, but yeah, these are the necessary steps that they need to fix it. If they can, the thing for them is, if they can roll that out and it's good, and then at the same time hit Doom and that's good at that sort of time.
Well, they've released the Elder Scrolls patch expansion for Elder Scrolls Online, and that's gone down an absolute storm. So they've kind of got one win there. Just get the other wins and get back on track.
I think the key for them is making up for it. Like, the Fallout community clearly are going to be pissed. So either you just kind of deliver the full game and then you deliver more content with it, or you deliver some expansions, or before Fallout 77, that's clearly not going to be the next game. I don't know why it's called 76. Is that the name of a vault in it or something?
That's the time period it's set in.
Oh, okay. There you go. So yeah, for whatever the next game's going to be, they need to do some sort of gesture, as in like, look, we need to win that. We can win the minds back by saying, look, actually, they fixed Fallout, it's really good, but they need to win their hearts to get that community spirit back. Speaking about winning hearts, GT Omega Brian is in the chat and he says, nice chairs, boys. I mean, I
don't know what you're talking about.
They're all right, I suppose.
Oh, these chairs. Yeah. They fit my big ass on them, so that's a big plus on your side.
If you're watching on Twitch, then
I'm looking at the wrong camera.
Scroll down a little bit. There's a panel down there that's got a GT Omega logo on it. If you want to click that, use code ICU to get discount on the chairs. Just saying. Hashtag spawn, hashtag ad, hashtag.
I mean, at the bottom of the screen, when we're on full camera, you have got the GT Omega little animation thing.
Let's bring it up just for
B-Rye.
Bam!
Hey, look
go.
at that! How convenient is that?
Perfect timing. I would try it out, but for most games I play on Steam, I'm not sure it's worth it. I think that's the remote play together.
Yeah.
And then Shogun and Pirate are jumping in for a bit of lads.
Oh, Need for Speed Heat. What are you saying about that?
On a second, why don't they just do an Apex and surprise people with a game that would get more hype rather than letting people down? See, I was having a chat with I can't remember who it was. Someone at Gamescom anyway from EA, and he was basically saying internally nobody knew about Apex Legends coming, and to be able to deliver that is like so almost impossible. To be able to deliver a game so big, so well made by a company at the scale of Respawn Entertainment, and to have not only the global masses but your own company not really knowing about it. Very, very few companies will be able to get away with that. And like he even said that there was one sort of like teaser coming for it. Someone spoiled it a little bit beforehand, but nobody really picked up on it. Everyone thought, yeah, it's bullshit. No, but stop posting your crap on Reddit. Shut up. And then everyone discounted it, and then about a month or two later, the game came out. But to have that level of secrecy is ridiculously hard, especially when you've got the likes of, I mean, who was involved in the Apex launch campaign? They obviously had Doc. Did they get like Shroud and everyone else?
Yeah, they went to Respawn, didn't they, to play the game, to try it out, and then obviously
got their content captured. Yeah. I mean, that's how Doc had like, buckle up, let's
Yeah.
jump in.
Yeah,
sort of
there's zip wiring
animations.
everywhere.
Because he'd been there, he'd captured it all, he knew what it was, and to give that level of stuff out, very, very few companies would be able to manage a launch of that scale and that caliber without it getting out first. And what the hell are you watching?
So I was having a look at games that are coming out for the rest of the year because I'm thinking, if they're having a Steam sale, then what are the games that are coming out between now and Christmas? And I'm thinking, some of them might drop in there. I'm pretty certain that this game is going to be dropping in there. This is Garfield Official Kart Racer.
Oh, let's go.
So this is Garfield and his chums. Ready? Boom. What is this a clone of? Oh my god. So yeah, this is
Is this not Super Garfield Kart? Is that not what it's called? Garfield Team Racing?
I can't. This is literally on the thingy website, on the game website for £30. You are giving away £30
£30
for this. I don't
Wait.
even know if it's got a storyline. Is it got a campaign that you can do, or is it just like single player races?
Don't get me wrong, I quite liked Garfield when I was young, but it was never the best program in the world. And I imagine most people that aren't incredibly old like me will have probably forgotten what Garfield is. You drop down 10 years. Some people might go, oh, it's that orange cat that old people watched.
Oh, it's got crossplay.
But it looks like a mobile game.
Yeah, it does. I imagine it probably was a mobile game that they ported over to it, but
£30.
30.
Damn.
It is. Wait, available on Android.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they've literally. It is a mobile. Well played.
Now what they need is some of that Circuit Superstars that Square Enix Collective are releasing now. That's the kind of game that we're talking about. I mean, that stuff, pow. Played that at EGX, as I mentioned yesterday, and really good. You did mention another game a second ago, and I kind of ignored you because I was in full waffle. What was the other one?
1 second. It was Need for Speed Heat.
Oh, is that
comes out on the same day as Death Stranding.
Really?
Yes.
Unlucky.
That's very ambitious of them to be able to do that.
See, I swear, I would just go, sorry lads, fucked up. We meant actually the 17th and not the 5th, or something like that. I'd be just like, no, you just give in. Just say, I know all our marketing and stuff says, thingy. You just tell you the best way to fix that, and this is next gen thinking. I mean, any publishers or devs or marketing agencies that are looking at how to avoid clashes. If you announce that you're coming out on the same day as Call of Duty, or the same day as a GTA, or the same day as a Red Dead, or one of those big games like Death Stranding, what you need to do is invest in stickers, and then just go around every single game store, every bit of merchandise or whatever, and just whack it on and say delayed to 2 weeks due to Death Stranding. People will go, lol, banter.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's a good marketing thing though, because you're just thinking tongue in cheek. You're thinking, I'm not going to be competing with that kind of thing.
And you just full on know Hideo Kojima's Twitter accounts are going to be like, English and Japanese Hideo Kojima approves of this. That's free exposure. He'll come around, you'll all high five, you sit there, drink. Well, I'm going to say what Kojima drinks, but what doesn't Kojima drink? His Instagrams and everything show he drinks all the things.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympics is coming out on the same day as Death Stranding as well. Two completely different markets for that, to be fair, so they'll probably get away with it. Jumanji the video game, that's probably going to be Toilet.
As in original Jumanji or the new
No,
film
as in
Jumanji?
like that definitely looks like The Rock. What else? Gear Club Unlimited. That I think that did all right on the Switch. But...
Oh, Disney Sum Festival.
Terminator Resistance probably going to be awful. Pokemon Sword and Shield comes out on the 15th of November. I'm probably going to be getting that. The Fallen Order comes out on the same day. I will be getting that at some point. Football Manager 2020 available on all platforms as of November 19th. We've discussed that before.
Sniper Ghost Warrior contract. Shout out to the team at CI Games if they are in the chat today. We are working with the team at CI to do some, let's just say content. I won't go into any details around Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts, but we are working on it. It looks badass. I said it looks badass.
And you've got a clear run now as well, so that's even better. Zumba Burn It Up comes out on the 22nd of November. Farming Simulator, which has got an esport. For those of you that don't know, Farming Simulator actually has an esport. We was at Gamescom and they had like a big stage. I couldn't believe how big it was, to be fair. They had a big stage. You had people competing for money at Gamescom for Farming Simulator. And the new Farming Simulator comes out on December 3rd.
I find like farming games
What
quite corny.
The Drone Championship League comes out.
See, do you know what, actually, whilst that sounds a bit pants, Drone Championship League, all on board for that. It's basically a racing game, but with all of the verticality. I mean, I say I'm on board for it and try it and go, fuck, I can't even do left and right. Never mind up, down, left and right.
Well,
forward.
if it controls anything like the plane that was in San Andreas, I think it was, then I'm out.
Was it your pilot license that you had to file
horrific.
through that?
And that's it until Christmas.
Garfield has no relevance anymore. What are they thinking? Says Shogunash Live. I hate Mondays and I love lasagna. Am I Garfield? Says Pirate. Don't reckon there's a huge crossover between Death Stranding and Need for Speed Audience. I agree with that. I mean, two very, very different games, but in terms of
I've got £60 in my pocket. What am I going to spend it on?
I mean, you might be a racing guy, so you'd definitely go for NFSE. I might be an all first person or story-driven guy, so I might go for Death Stranding. That's fine, but there's also a large section of the audience that just wants something new. I've just finished Modern Warfare. It came out on the 25th. It's 10 days later now, or 2 weeks later, whatever it is, and I now need a new gaming fix. So what am I going to do? I'm going to turn to Twitch, and the scoop's not on. So okay, I need to find something else to watch then. So I'm gonna look at what games are trending on Twitch, and then it's that sort of trade-off where a lot of people will be like, okay, well, the first people to get to the end of Death Stranding and get that storyline moment, a lot of people will want to watch that and be there first. So then people will start to go, yeah, but okay, Heat, well, we can come back to it. And then Heat suddenly starts to get deprioritized, or vice versa. And those column inches, those on-air watched minutes, those will then lead to sales at the expense of the other. Very few people will go, well, I can just drop 120 quid on 2 games right now. Boom.
I've seen this Stranded sales at the Nintendo stand at EGX, and it looked really good. I can't bother finding the trailer for it, but go and find that one. It's really, really good.
Which one's that one?
It's called Stranded Sales.
Stranded Sales?
Yeah. In fact, just bring it up on screen. I've got screenshots. That's easy, isn't it?
What's happening? What are we talking about? I am confused with this professional-looking roundtable of the 2 Twitch streamers. Well, we're confused too. This is a normal thing for us. I'm going to try pronounce. Is it Rigel Kentaris? Rigel? Nige!
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us in the stream. I mean, you don't need to be confused. You can do exactly what GT Omega Brian did 15 minutes ago. Just hit that follow button. You'll get a notification every time we go live then. And we go live at 10 a.m. every day, Monday to Friday, with The Scoop. So hit the follow button now, Rigel. And then, you can watch a few more episodes and you don't need to be confused. It'll make sense. I mean, I hope so. It doesn't quite make sense to us, but eventually, maybe it will. So, Stranded Sales. Does that look like Death Stranding?
No, is the simple answer. Stranded Sales is an open world exploration adventure. It's all on the same lines as Death Stranding. Full of discoveries, quests, and farming. Along with your crew. Jesus. You are shipwrecked on a mysterious...
Good job you said that one correctly.
Yeah. Pronounce that word for me, please.
Archipelago.
Oh my god. Now it's up to you to secure your survival, solve the mysteries deep in the heart of the islands, and finally escape. This is definitely just like a casual game. I would easily pick this up and play it.
It's not for me.
No.
Can we have Bibby do a stream of the new Zumba game? This is what the community needs. I think 2 things. 1, yes. And 2, remote play together. So Pirate can join in with him as well, yes.
No, do you know what? I would happily do something like that, but it'd have to be that Ring Fit adventure.
What's Ring Fit?
Have you not seen it? It's like the new
like
Nintendo
someone
game.
Going like...
Oh no, because I won't be able to take my ring off.
Oh, Ring Fit! Way! Game over. That's it. You've just seen it.
No, how have you not seen this?
I've no idea. Ring Fit sounds like something that you shouldn't be typing into the internet. There's some dodgy stuff popping up there.
This was
morning, guys, says D-Mac with the host as well. Thank you very much, D-Mac. How are you doing this morning?
Ring Fit adventure trailer. How did you not see it? It was at EGX as well.
Yeah, I was at EGX for like 7 minutes. And no, I was there for about 3-4 hours, but pretty much all of that was either in meetings or playing things that I'd pre-booked, so I kind of like beeline straight to specific titles.
So for those of you that are listening on podcast services, we now have the trailer for Ring Fit Adventure up on the screen. Obviously, we have turned the sound off so it doesn't make you swerve your car into the hard shoulder. But basically, Ring Fit Adventure is exactly that. It's just like a physical ring that you get, like a big giant hula hoop like this, and it's got your Wii remote in the end of it. So it's an RPG game, but you use the ring to get fit. So
one second. What do you do with the ring?
You and then. But
sorry, there was a second part to it. And what was
it? And then. But look, you see the guy doing all the jumping and stuff like that, but then it'll show you on the left-hand side what the actual animation you have to do. So you hold the ring, there you go, look at that victory pose, squats.
So that ring, is that like a separate controller?
Yeah, so it's just like a giant ring, and then you put one of your Joy-Cons in it, you just slide it in, so it's motion controlled.
So you've got your Joy-Con controlled, do you have a separate ring piece? I apologise. I was building up for that way too long as well.
But I want to know how long the game is, because I don't know how long you could possibly do this for. Like the Wii, they're trying to get on the back of the Wii Fit thing because that was absolutely massive. Like every man and his dog had one of them.
Yeah, I worked in a financial service firm, and we basically had like mortgage advisors and things like that coming into our business, and when you do those sort of like hosting sort of events, we did an event in a financial support firm with a Wii and the Olympic Games kind of thing, and it was just like, I'm in a finance firm playing on the Wii. This is amazing. But that's how big the Wii was. I'm not sure that playing with my ring in front of a bunch of other people is gonna have the same sort.
That's what people want. Give the people what they want.
They want a wee bit of success. Yay! LMAO, Ring Fit is the riskiest Google search of the week. I don't know, it's like asking what Sonic does with all the yellow rings he collects. That's a good point. I mean,
yeah, what does he do with all them? Has he got big pockets?
BBC, not the news. Thank you very much for the follow. I'll take that. I mean, I'll take not the BBC news. That's good. Not gonna lie, this looks good, but I still need Bobby doing Zumba. If you want me to remote play it with Bibby, I will, but only if you buy me the game. You don't need to remote play together. Don't need to buy the game. If Bibby's paid for it, which he loves to play for pay for Zumba games, as long as he's paid for it, you can play along too. Someone wasn't listening when we were doing the remote play together thing.
Shall we get on to our third? I know we've just gone round the houses. Like this happens every single time that we and you get on the microphone. It just we're thinking, yeah, it's definitely going to be an hour. Which one we doing first?
I think this one's good, and then we'll.
Would you like this one though?
Yeah, actually, let's
do this one.
Let's do it. Okay, we'll move forward with the news. Now we've figured out what we're doing. And you may have heard of something called Xbox Project Scarlett. So this article from GameSpot, written by Oscar Dayus, says Xbox Scarlett specs, release date, price, next-gen Xbox tech, and more. And that's just the title. Wow. I keep looking at this camera now, and we're over there. Hi. So, Microsoft revealed the new Xbox Scarlett during its E3 2019 Xbox press conference earlier this year. Seemingly a codename, Xbox Scarlett releases in holiday 2020 alongside Halo Infinite, which apparently is going to be massive.
No way.
Big. New game is big. Dun, dun, dun. The Xbox One has been around since 2013 and will turn 6 years old near the end of 2019. Console cycles typically last between 5 and 7 years, meaning we should be due a new Xbox pretty soon. There's the complicating factor that this generation included mid-cycle upgrades, the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, but we're still expecting Scarlett in 2020. There's still a lot to find out about Xbox Scarlett, but Microsoft boasted about the specs being far beyond that of the Xbox One X. Regardless, we know Microsoft is working on the next Xbox console, and there have been a lot of details revealed about what to expect. Without further ado, let's dig into everything we know about the Xbox. Okay, this is the bit where we get into the meat. Okay, I was going to try to see if I can skim it, but what's new in the Xbox? While Microsoft discussed its new Xbox during E3 last year, it reiterated at E3 2019 that it's definitely working on the new console. In fact, it could even be multiple consoles on the way. Xbox boss Phil Spencer said in June 2018 that Microsoft is deep into architecting the next Xbox consoles, where we will once again deliver our commitment to set the benchmark for console gaming. Of course, the pluralizing of console could mean Spencer was referring in part to the Xbox One S All Digital Edition, which was announced just recently. However, the latter half of his quote about setting the benchmark for console gaming surely refers to a new generation where it sounds as if Microsoft wants to come out swinging with the most powerful console available, just as it did with the Xbox One X. Early reports from Thurrott suggest the new Xbox consoles are being developed under the umbrella codenamed Scarlett. 2 consoles are in the works, says the reports. One is a high-power machine codenamed Anaconda that will approximately be the same price as the PS5, while the other is a budget-oriented machine known as Lockhart. The latter is potentially a streaming-centric device that does not boast much processor power itself. Rather, it will ostensibly use Microsoft's nascent xCloud technology to play games via the cloud. Big words in there.
That is.
Microsoft has so far only detailed one new device, but it could be that a second console is revealed at a later date.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, neither did I. But then again, the thing with E3 that I've found, I mean, I attend my first E3 this year. The thing that I find with E3 is I keep up to date with all of the news. But you go to E3, you know nothing. Unless you're sat in the actual conference. I can tell you all about the Bethesda conference all day. Any of the other conferences.
Yeah.
I mean, I've kind of picked off like the headlines and stuff, but even the headlines and stuff, because news moves so fast around E3. And everything's sensationalized. Everyone wants to talk about the certain specific bits of conferences. It's kind of hard to find all of the snippets of stuff like that.
I imagine then that Lockhart machine is going to be like the S that came out not long ago, where it's like no hard drive, disk drive.
The digital S.
It's just all digital. So if it's like half the price, then yeah, I'll probably end up picking that up, because I do want an Xbox S just to be able to play the Games Pass stuff, which I know you can play on your PC now, blah blah blah, but not all the games are on there. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to pay if I'm going to get a PS5, I don't want to have to pay £500. I mean, I don't even know how much they are, and they may go onto it down here, but I don't want to pay £500 for my PS5 and then £500 again for an Xbox One.
Yeah, I have Xbox One S and a PS4 Pro, and my One S is my Twitch TV application provider kind of thing. So when is the Xbox coming out? Not expecting to launch 2020. Do we know the new console specs? I'm not going to go through those because, I mean, basically there's lots of flops that are terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible flops.
Terrible flops.
So loads of teraflops, loads of RAM, loads of storage, all of the things. We all expect them to just be big numbers and all bigger than the others as well. So the site also reports that Anaconda will be around $500, which is the same price the Xbox One X launched in with 2017. Unverified rumours from Reddit placed Lockhart, meanwhile, at around $250, which would put it at the same point as the newly launched Xbox One S All-Digital Edition, which also forgoes a disc drive. These are yet to be substantiated by any reputable source, however.
Now, bear in mind, I didn't read the article before I put it in. I only read, like, you kind of know what you're going to get, but I'm a fucking genius.
He read it.
I'm a genius.
He read it. I'm not joking. The people don't believe you can read. Badder.
So for 250 sheets, if they bring out the PS5 equivalent, then I could probably pick up both. Not that I would probably play both. That's the issue, though. Like, the exclusives that came out on the Xbox One were terrible.
What? I mean, there was Gears and
Forza. They're like, as far as I'm aware, they're probably the two biggest that came out. Oh, don't forget the launch title, which was Rise or whatever it was called.
Was that
the Viking thing?
Or
Yeah,
Roman or whatever it was.
Yeah, the one that took the world by storm.
When you said took the world by storm, then I was going to be like, I was just about to say, did it?
No,
I don't remember.
No,
I remember
it
it supposedly, but then it anthemed.
It anthemed. Speaking of which, I seen at the Argos stand at EGX this weekend for about £7.
Really? Ouch. Destiny King. Bibby, not Bobby, but yeah, I still want the game. And more, says Connor. I can't remember what that's in response to, but thank you. Rajul Quintero says, I don't think I've been excited for games much anymore. The only thing I wish to explore in games these days would be when VR technology is better and improved, and trying VR.
This guy's he's after my own art. This guy.
Because I don't really feel scared when watching / playing anything in horror, and I want to see if this new VR technology will get me to feel fear ever again. The last time I felt any tension from a horror game was the first Dead Space game.
Oh, what a game that was.
See, I haven't played much in the way of horror games. I played Evil Within on stream with Bridie when... Rest in peace, Bridie. When we did a Friday session of streams on it. And that did kind of a couple of times make me jump. But one game that properly scared me, Rip, was PT. I know it's a game.
Oh, yeah.
I remember playing through PT and literally being sat there, dark room, all the doors shut, at night, me laid on a bed, TV on the wall in front of me, playing PT, and getting to the point where I thought, whew, and then had to like look at my phone, so I had like a lit up screen that I could like break me out of it and like the immersion, or just open the door to the hallway so I could see some of the light, and then close it again, like woosah, back in the game. And I'm not usually like one to get like.
They're both brilliant games, but the thing is with Silent Hill and PT, it's more psychological horror, so it is more terrifying than most games. Like Resident Evil, yes, a survival horror, but the chances of that making you jump, apart from... there is clips of me somewhere, I think it's in the intro to this, where you see me absolutely shitting myself.
The liquor?
Is that the liquor? But yeah, the last game that actually made me shit myself was Layers of Fear. Have you ever played that? Oh my god, that is a game that you need to play with the lights off, man. Like I've been playing it on my... Well, I say I've played it on my PC, and it's like, lights off. My eyes just about seeing all around the screen, and you're like looking for these little glass pots or whatever it is, but as you walk into a new room, like PT, the room changes every time you go through, so you feel like you walk through the same hallway, you're like, oh, it's fine, walk down, some shit will come flying across the screen, or you need to play that game. It's so good.
Hard pass. Rise Son of Rome was decent. It had so much potential, says Next Gen Renegade. Nice! Rocking that Founders Badge there in the Twitch chat. GG. If you want the Founders Badge, it's probably a little bit too late now because it's like first 10 subscribers or something. But feel free to subscribe to the channel to get yourself access to your own personal ice cream emotes. And Rigel says, I don't think I ever felt scared playing Resident Evil series, but I only ever played the fourth one. All I was thinking was I feel bad killing all these Spanish farmers.
The poor sods.
I mean, if you want to speak about Resi, I mean, sit up so we can see the umbrella logo on the jacket. Bibby is your man.
Let's go for this one.
Yeah, there we go. Pow. He knows.
I do.
So Bibby can talk all day about Resi. And if you want to look back through the clips and the highlights on the channel, there may be some of Bibby shitting himself playing the Resident Evil 2 remake. But let's jump back to the news. So we've had news about Xbox One projects, Xbox Scarlett, should I say, Project Scarlett, and the specs and what we expect for that. But let's bring it back home a little bit. Let's come back to something that's more current, and this is by Eddie Makuch from GameSpot. Xbox One skateboarding game Session delayed. We know this sucks, Dev says. It's not Skate 4, but it might be of interest to skateboarding fans. Did you ever play any skate games? Like not like Tony Hawk's, but did you play Skate?
I played the first two, and I was terrible. I could not get used to using the right analog stick to do my tricks. Like, my brother's really good at it. Like, he loves the skate games, but I much prefer the square to do a heel flip and circle to do a grab and triangle to grind.
Kick, flip, and twist into grind.
Yeah.
Well, I've never played any of the skate games. I mean, I played, obviously, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and like obviously the Dave Mirra BMX and things like that, but I've never played Skate. So that when I see there's a few games that just like have unanimous love across the games industry. Probably it's one of those things that becomes viral and meme-ish where people get behind it and it becomes bigger than it really needs to be. Like Simpsons Hit and Run, obviously. Did that actually get announced? Like the remaking that, or was that a leak? Or was
no,
that
I think that was just like a meme thing because I believe the hype train would still be flying now if that was getting remade.
So yeah, for Simpsons Hit and Run
Morning Reveler
and Skate, those are the kind of games that get that level of virality behind it in terms of support. So as you can see there, it's not Skate 4, but it might be of interest for skateboarding fans. But let's jump off of Skate 4 and onto Session, which is a new game coming to Xbox, but has been delayed.
On PC.
On PC. One of the new game reveals at Microsoft's E3 2018 briefing was for a new skateboarding game called Session. The game was released on Steam Early Access earlier this year, but the Xbox One version has now been delayed to a later point in 2019. In a Facebook post, developer Creature Studios said the team needs more time to finish the Xbox One port. The game is now slated for release in late November or early December. We know this sucks and we totally understand that, as we know you've been waiting to play the game on console for a while now, the studio said. We know it's not great news to hear, but it's not particularly fun to announce either, especially for a small studio like ours. It's never easy to make such decisions, and we know it can have an impact on several levels, so these decisions are never taken lightly, the studio added. We thank you for your understanding and hope you will stick around for the Xbox One release. Session was originally slated for launch on Xbox One's early access style game preview program in October. For more, check out GameSpot's recent impressions piece, In a World Without Skate 4, Session makes me feel better. There's the meme. Session was originally funded on Kickstarter, bringing in some... Is that what's CA dollars? Californian dollars? Are they different from?
Imagine so.
Bringing in $163,716, which was more than doubling its funding target. The game has a unique control setup where each stick represents one of your feet. Unlike the Tony Hawk or Skate franchises, there is no scoring system, and the game has a day/night cycle.
So, have you seen this game before?
I haven't.
It looks amazing, and I don't know. Is it in volume? My ears.
We can hear it. There is. Break. That looks pretty decent, to be fair. This looks pretty tasty.
So it shouldn't be too loud for using the chat that are listening to it, but I feel like when you have a game like Tony Hawk's or you have any kind of skating game, BMXing game, the soundtrack is half the fun. But this looks awesome.
Did you ever play a game called BMX?
No, I stayed well clear of it because it looked pants.
It was crap. But it was the same sort of time frame as Tony Hawk's, as Dave Mirror, and all those. So my mate Carl, who's probably not in the chat today, but has been in the chat a few times, we kind of just bought it at the time for, oh, go on, let's it's another BMX/skateboarding/ skate park sort of game. Canadian dollars, GG Shogun. So yeah, we bought the game, and the only thing good about it was it had NERD Rockstar as like
what a tune,
as the track.
What a tune,
banger.
They did two versions of that song, didn't they? They did like a heavy rock version and then just like a pop version.
Yeah, it's the more dancey sort of version was the one that was like used in Fast and Furious or something. I mean, I love both of them, but yeah, absolute banger of a tune. Absolute banger. You shout out Reveler. It's called a roll.
Yeah, it's not. It's called a muffin, mate.
Oh, okay.
It's a muffin, mother. Bleep.
This is where you add the tea cake into the mix and everyone loses their shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Skate 4 is going to be create as likely as Half-Life 3 is ever.
That's never happening.
Yeah.
That could have been stolen from.
Wait, when
Valve.
did Graham lose a layer? I actually stripped it off and just threw it down there whilst I was. Well, we were in this camera as well, so you'd. Wait up next. If we get 72 subscribers, Bibby takes off the jacket. And everything else, we don't really. Please don't. That's something that nobody wants to see that. It's too early in the day.
We've got one story left, Graham. Today's gone so fast.
Yeah, and we've one thing before we do roll onto one more story though. I do want to. So we've had Doom has been delayed.
Yep.
We've had the Fallout 76 update has been rolled back. We have Session has now just been delayed as well. What is your general perception on games being delayed? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Are we seeing more of it happening now? And if we are, why?
I think it's going to start happening more. And I prefer, as I said, I think we had kind of touched on this before. I'd much rather them delay the game now than release it in a messy state and then try and patch it, because you're going to have instances like No Man's Sky. When that came out, that was a bag of shite, and they're still patching it now, which apparently it turned out to be a good game if you go and play it now. But you're at risk of your game reviewing like to a point where no one's going to play that game regardless. Like if they have half an idea, like there's people like Connor's buying Stadia, and I'm like, I'll wait for you to get that, and then I will go and get that depending on what you say about it. So if people like PlayStation Magazine or whoever it is that's reviewing that game says this game's trash, then the chances are it's never going to be in my library. But for these established developers like Bethesda, they're actually saying, okay, well, we got absolutely battered when Fallout 76 came out. We'll delay it a little bit longer. We'll make sure that it's as polished as we think it is, and I imagine they're going to get some influencers in at some point to play the game. They'll wait for them to say, oh god, this is actually shit, or I can't wait to play it kind of thing. So yeah, I'm all in favour of them delaying it as long as they get it right, and actually it being open. I mean, half the battle is trying to stop the fire from reaching your game. So if your social media managers or your content creators are fighting the fires for you because you're coming out and saying, right, this isn't actually as good as we want it to be at the moment, we're going to delay it, we'll sort it out, then that's fine. You're setting everybody's expectations.
I think I mean, I massively applaud companies that do that because it's hard knowing that it's whilst it's a positive message underlying it. Look, our game isn't good enough. We don't want you to have something that is below par. We want you to feel the best possible feelings that you can play when you're playing this game. Not why the fuck did that just happen? I mean, Rigel Quinteros in the chat says, to me, it really just depends on the situation, but in most cases, I think it's mostly the higher up men that want them to rush it at specific seasons to get better sales, even if it's half finished. Which I think that's probably one angle, or probably the main angle to it, is rushing it out to crack on.
Yeah.
Either it's to get the most money, or it's to hit the deadlines that maybe shareholders are pressuring it, or maybe you just think, okay, well, it'll look bad on us if we don't actually put it out now because we're quite close to launch or whatever. I think taking that step to push it back it takes guts to do it, but I think that's always the best thing for a consumer. I mean, you will get people that are butthurt. Oh, I wanted to play it now. Now I've got to wait 3 more months. Fuck this shit. But it's better than to wait 3 months to play it and be happy.
Yeah.
And have the fuck this shit now that disappears, as opposed to buying it now and then the 3 months being still full of hate because they've wasted the money on a below par product that either does need or never will get a patch. So companies knowing full well that when they delay a game, the reviews are all going to be like, it's going to be, this game was delayed 3 months, and you can see why. They've done a great job. Or you can say, they've delayed 3 months, and I can't see. It's going to be a stick that's going to be used to kind of to set the benchmark of the review, which is a bit crappy and almost kind of lazy in some respects, but knowing that you're going to have to deal with shit like that, and I'd rather have a developer have the balls to make that decision.
Absolutely. Me. I mean, I'd much rather the people coming in review the game as in its final state, and then not like was it Call of Duty last year? Is that what Connor said? I think when he was on the show, he said that they let people have the reviews of the game before they started putting the loot boxes in, so that the game was like at 9 out of 10s or 8 out of 10s, whatever, in its current state, and then they added loot boxes in, which probably would have made it a 5 out of 10.
I didn't even think of it from that, but I mentioned that yesterday, like Connor mentioned, the loot boxes coming later on. Didn't think about the impact of that passing review period. I mean, journalists will get games and they'll know what their schedules are, what titles are coming, what content needs to be copied and stuff. So they will cover it in terms of it will get media headlines, it will get column inches, but very rarely will they go back and amend their Metacritic score and go, actually, we gave it a 9, it's actually a 6 because half the game is hidden behind paywalls that are hidden in loot crates, of which you need to open 10 bajillion to get. So these £60 games now £750.
Like Eurogamer had the balls. I know we keep mentioning balls, but there's a lot of balls flying around.
Balls. If anyone wants to do a balls compilation, edit of the stream, then balls. But
Eurogamer had the balls to come out and say that the new Ghost Recon game was pants. Like, don't bother buying this game. It's dumb. It's stupid. It doesn't work. They've rushed it out. It needs patches. And it's very rare that people would actually come out and say that, despite it, because they would have had the game for probably a month or so reviewing it, and usually might think, they're just being nice for being nice sake, but they just come out and say, do you know what? Balls to this. Don't bother buying it.
Yeah, I love that as well. I mean, I mentioned kind of laziness there. It's that takes balls from a journalistic standpoint to go, actually, I believe this game is crap. Because quite often, and I'm not talking across the board, I mean, particularly with the new sources that we use, obviously these are quite high caliber sources, so it's probably not there, but you will find a lot of people going, what did they write? Do we all agree? Because I mean, having your opinion as a journalist is the key thing, and not going, oh well, it's a 6 because a 6 is low, and it's like, no, 1 is low. 6 in reality, we can all judge it and go, oh, it's only got a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
but 6 is still better than 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
A 6 or a 7 for me is either you can take it or leave it. That all comes down to, again, circumstances or taste of the person that's playing it. Because a game that, like Willis will never play a Resident Evil game because he says they're too short. So he said, for 11 hours, I'm not buying Resident Evil for £40 because I want to get 11 hours out of it. But for me, it was like a 10 out of 10 game or 9 out of 10 game. But he will play it, know that it's only 11 hours and go, I'm not asked about storyline, 5 out of 10. It's like, it all comes down to taste and circumstances.
Yeah. And that's the thing, 11 hours, 40 quid. I would then go, okay, 11 hours, 40 quid, that's like 4 cinema films.
Yeah.
Which each one of those is going to cost you 15, 20 quid. So you're basically looking at 60 to 80 quid to go and get 11 hours of cinema enjoyment. So
Well, that's if you're having a survival horror game that's 40 hours, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
There's far too much storyline in there. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. I'm just having a look through Rigel's comments again. Said, talk about games that are taking forever to complete and bad business practice and bad management would be any of the reasons. Mountain Blade, Bannerlord and Final Fantasy VII Remaster. Now, I like the fact that they're taking the time with the Final Fantasy VII Remaster, and I'm only saying this now because I've seen the game firsthand at Gamescom and at EGX. So at EGX, I was stood, it was right next to the PlayStation booth, and they just had one little banner thing that was tapered off, so you could stand there, you could watch people playing it, and it looks amazing. I'm glad that they've taken the time with that, because it needed to be done properly. Like, this is going to be one of the biggest games in the last 5 years, I reckon, when it comes out. Easily. It's one of the highest rated games ever on the PlayStation 1, the most iconic game ever. It needs to be good.
I've heard lots of people, and I think the worst thing for Final Fantasy VII Remake, but also the best thing at the same time, it's kind of a double-edged sword, is a lot of people are already going, this will have to be Game of the Year. It'll have to be Game of the Year. There's no way that Final Fantasy VII, if they just remake Final Fantasy VII, isn't Game of the Year. There's no way. But that then suddenly puts the bar stupidly high in a year where The Last of Us 2 and whatever else is coming that we don't even know about will be released. You're kind of like, damn, that's a lot to live up to. I mean, it's good to have that much hype, so you're guaranteed it's going to get a lot of love. But if when your game is that hyped, you can easily ignore some faults and still get solid 8s and 9s out of 10. When a game is that hyped and you have a major fault, you can easily hit a 2 out of 10.
Oh, yeah,
absolute shit. Not what it meant to be. It's ruined the dreams and the past and all of the stuff.
That game has to come out swinging next year because you've got the likes of Last of Us, like you said, and you've got this, and then you've also got whatever comes out later on in the year, which is apparently rumoured to be Horizon Zero Dawn 2, coming out alongside the PlayStation 5. That's a rumour, that isn't... It's just what I've seen falling out.
6 rumoured as well.
So next year's going to be good. I mean, this year's been probably average in regards to top games that are coming out. For me, Game of the Year still Resident Evil 2. Nothing's changed my opinion yet.
I don't know what my Game of the Year would be.
I think obviously because we're not going to be here over Christmas, that we need to do like get our Game of the Year awards or like our golden joysticks and get like 4 of us talking about what we've played this year and then rank them.
We did that a couple of years back through Christmas. I think it was the very first Christmas, so when Ice Cream Uploads was still very, very embryonic. We basically sat down and said what we would put forward to be our Game of the Year, and I think I went with Horizon Zero Dawn. I went in with the caveat of nothing much has really appealed to me, but I went in with Horizon Zero Dawn because of the hour that or a couple of that I played.
Cyberpunk next year as well.
Oh damn, yeah. Not having PES 2020's Game of the Year, lads. Wow, rude. I mean that's a separate category. That gets its own
sports game of the year.
Chill out, mate. Not having it is its own standalone category. God.
No, sorry, what were you saying? Yeah, we did it as.
Yeah, we did it where we all did our own little bit. So I'd have a like little piece to microphone showing some game footage, and mine was, I think it was Horizon Zero Dawn. Might not have been. But it was only based off of like an hour's gameplay, and I remember ending it saying, "Do you know what? I know I'm going out on a limb by saying it's this, and I've not played the full game, but over the immersive hour or 2 that I've played so far, loving it. And then I'm going to play the rest of it through Christmas, and I'll be able to update you in January, and then never played any of it.
Well, so there's only so much amaretto and Christmas food.
Went through about 4 bottles of amaretto. As Pirate and Shogun will be able to vouch for it in the chat because we were sharing social media images of all our alcohol. Anyway, let's move on. We have one more story for you guys today. This is one that
as a Pokemon fan, this has to be you.
Yeah, as a Pokemon Go fan particularly, this ties in to me. I've played Pokemon Go already this morning, just for the bants and the lols and the shame. So Pokemon Go is adding ranked Battle League PvP in early 2020. I must admit, this probably is something that doesn't appeal to me that much. Whilst Pokemon is, there's a kind of a couple of elements. There's probably more really, but for me it breaks down to 2 elements. There's the people that play the game for the storyline and the collection of the creatures and all of that stuff, and then there's people that go in for the development of the creatures and the honing to get the best ones with IVs and so on that can be successful in battling conditions. Yeah. I know Luke knows a lot about IVs and breeding the right Pokemon and that is not for me. So whilst this ties into a game that I play a lot and have played a lot, it's probably not my kind of thing. So this is from Austin Wood at Games Radar, and he says they are the rank battling will come complete with an online matchmaking system. So in the article it says Pokemon Go's New Year's resolution was to improve its PvP, and as developer Niantic announced today, it's planning to do just that through a new system called the Go Battle League. This system will build upon trainer battles, the current form of player versus player battling, and is scheduled to release in early 2020. Go Battle League will encourage players to get out and explore the world with Pokemon, Niantic says. Trainers will be able to walk in order to earn entry into the Go Battle League, then battle opponents from around the globe through an online matching system and rise in the ranks of the league. We hope this feature will make the Pokemon Go battling experience more competitive and accessible to more trainers. It's interesting to see Battle League entry tied to walking distance. I have to wonder if, like many things in Pokemon Go, players will also have the option of paying to speed up the process, similar to the premium incubators available for eggs. I wouldn't be surprised and don't think it would be terribly intrusive either way, but I do love the idea of the #1 Battle League trainer also having the legs of a Greek god. Not me then. In any case, I'm sure the more competitive players, the ones who treat gym ownership like a feudal war, are happy to see ranked PvP in any form. Niantic says more information on the Go Battle League will be revealed as it gets closer to launch, with a dev diary coming soon. In the meantime, you can catch up on the newly announced November 2019 Pokemon Go Community Day featuring Shiny Chimchar. So my thoughts on that. So let's bring it back into the front cam. My thoughts on that are, that's pretty cool actually. As someone that isn't invested into the battling element of Pokemon games, I won't go to offline meetups to have my fully maxed out Charizard or whatever the meta Pokemon is at that point in time, with the correct moveset to take on more people and have my team of 6 prepped and primed ready to go. That kind of stuff gets lost on me. When I go into the Battle of the Elite Forum on Pokemon, I want to go in with Charizard because Charizard. Yeah. Usually what I go in with is Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise, because obviously I've got my water stuff. Then I've obviously got Pikachu, and then I'll pick either a rock or a fighting or a psychic, someone else that takes my fancy, just so that I've got type coverage. Yeah. And that's about the extent of my pre-planning of battling goes. In Pokemon, I have always been kind of aware of the IV system, and for those that don't know, IVs are, you can catch a Pokemon that has a CP, which is basically its overall level, but that is calculated based on IVs, and your IVs are individual values. So your Pokemon might have an attack value of 15 out of 15, a defense of 10 out of 15, and health of like 1 out of 15. So overall, it's quite crap, whereas mine might have 15s across the board, 100% IV, really good. So I'm aware of that stuff, and I have kind of kept that stuff in mind while playing Pokemon, only as a I want to get better milestone marker. So I won't be massively... I wouldn't have been massively swayed going into competitive Pokemon Go League setups. However, that does sound pretty cool. If you have played Pokemon, if you tried the battling system, it's really crap. So if me and you want to battle now, it's like, to be fair, I had a challenge that was like battle one other person, and me and the missus were trying to match up, and it just wouldn't work, which has not ever happened before. So last week it just wasn't working at all. But before that, it's literally me and you have a fight. You have 3 Pokemon, I have 3 Pokemon. You win, or I win.
Is it? Because I remember going to try and take over gyms, and you basically just keep on pressing hit.
Yeah, pretty much that.
That's it.
It's hit until you got your charge move, and then charge move, hit, and then if they're going to hit you, you can swipe to dodge. Right. So hit, swipe. It's usually hit. Just take. They have their little crappy attacks, and then when they're doing their charge move, you usually dodge because that takes a chunk of health, and that's kind of Pokemon Go battling. It's really monotonous, really pants, but then if you tie that as to you can battle your friends as long as you're near each other, it's like, oh cool, that's cool, but you get nothing for it. You have 3 Pokemon, you can't change in and out when you want. You can change your Pokemon once, but then once it's changed, you have to live with it until it's dead.
Right. So you don't get experience points or anything like that?
You get like these little medals, little badges that are like achievements, like battle 100 times, battle 1,000 times. It adds up to that. And then after the battle, you might get like some XP. But I'm level 40, and there's easy tiger. I'm level 40, so there's no XP boost for me. I'm at the max level, so that's irrelevant. or I might get a berry, but you get berries from every single Pokestop, so that's also irrelevant. So as it stands, it's pants. If it makes that cool and makes that something that's actually quite enticing with decent rewards and things like that, then it interests me. But yeah,
I've just missed my first Pokemon. So I've just loaded up Pokemon for like the first time in probably about 2 years, and I've just caught my first one.
not 2 years. You played it when you started Jelly Media.
Oh, a year and a half ago.
Yeah, liar.
Sorry, mate. I'm just trying to act cool for the kids.
Oh, there's a Sableye outside the ice cream studios. And a bunny.
But yeah, for me, I can't remember the last time I probably... Well, you just told me the last time I played this game, but yeah, it's probably not something that I'm going to be interested in.
Anyone in the chat still play Pokemon Go? Because that's the thing. I mean, the thing is, it's interesting to see how many people have dropped off. I mean, it was like Fortnite. It took over everything.
Oh yeah, I was all in.
So it was like stupid. Everyone had Pokemon Go. Everyone played it a stupid amount. But just because it's not as widespread as it is still a massive, massive game. I know there's hundreds, thousands of people in my local area that still play it. On community days, we tend to use it as an excuse to go out and get some fresh air, walk around local parks, and the park is full of people on a community day because the park has loads of little stops dotted around it. You just see people just continuously looping this park, getting stops, catching Pokemon, getting stops. Oh, shiny, getting stops, catching for 3 hours of just circling, which is good for getting people active because that's the hidden message behind it. But yeah, for me, that element of it is what keeps me playing, the active and the ticking off daily challenges that are really easy. But when it starts to come to the battle stuff, that's probably going to get lost on me.
I just wanted to film a Pokedex. I think that would have been because I don't play it that often. I just want to catch them all. As simple as it is, just try and catch them all. But then you realise very quickly that not everything that you need in your Pokedex is around you, so you have to move and get off your ass.
Shogun says, I play occasionally. Pirate says, I played slightly more than occasionally. Roger says, I was never really one for trends. I never tried Pokemon Go, honestly, mostly because I had the greatest image. I never had the greatest image of mobile app games. I fully stopped, and a friend got me back into it, and I kind of stopped again. The most knowledge I have on anything about Pokemon Go is horror stories on Reddit and how people get in pretty bad situation. Yeah, that's kind of just sensationalist news. I mean, it did happen. There was stories of people getting mugged for their phones, and there was stories of people putting lures on Pokestops to lure trainers in to then take the phones and stuff off them, which probably happened. But as someone that's played it almost every day since launch, and I'm not a mobile gamer at all, I'm into Pokemon, which is where this came from.
That's your brother, isn't it?
What's that?
Is that your brother?
Dead body. I choose you. That is my brother. Yeah, so I've never been into mobile gaming, or even one for following trends in that sort of sense. As someone that grew up with Pokemon, it appealed to me in that sort of sense. So yeah, I mean, it is a really good game for someone that if you need an aim. So if someone goes, should we go for a walk, and you go, fuck this shit, but if you think, actually, if I can make a game of this walk because I need to get 25k walk this week or whatever, walking 25 kilometers is a mission if you don't do any walking. So that kind of gamifies the walk. So yeah, I kind of like that. I see mobile out gaming like the Wild Wild West, crazy and lawless. It was. It's definitely becoming much more evolved. I mean, you've got like what's Apple's Game Pass thing called? The
Apple Arcade.
Apple Arcade. So things with like Apple Arcade and Google Play have got their own version. It's definitely maturing as an industry and as an entertainment type. And the quality of mobile games now is a world away from where it was when you got like 3GS generation 10 years ago, when you started to get the first crap games rolling out. When Angry Birds took the world by storm, that kind of like bred success. People are like, oh wow, this is amazing, you can make so much money from going firing a bird. Let's look at all the microtransactions we can put in. Oh, we can take all of the monies. And then you got the Candy Crushers and the crap like that were purely fueled for tell your friends, bring people in, give us more money. But yeah, it has evolved massively since then. So I mean, I'm not a mobile game player purely for I don't enjoy sitting there doing that. It's not comfortable. It's not immersive for me. So that's the reason why I'm not a mobile gamer, not necessarily the environment around it. So if you're jarring point is the industry itself, then that's probably better for you in that sense, because once you have seen that the industry has evolved, then it might allow you in. My issue is purely
It's just not comfortable.
the texture of having it in my hand. That I don't have the immersion there. I don't enjoy that, so that's what it is for me. But yes, speaking about enjoyment, I hope you've enjoyed. This has been The Scoop. We are just about to wrap things up on this Tuesday. It's 20 minutes past 11. If you are new here, I've mentioned it already for a few guys, so I will echo myself as I've said a few times. If you are new, and you haven't hit that follow button, it's just around kind of somewhere up there, I think.
Pointing in the right direction.
In that sort of part of your screen. Make sure you hit the follow button, unless you're on the mobile versions, then I don't know where the love heart is. But press it anyway.
Yeah.
See if you can find it. We'll have a little game, see if you can find it. Press it now. So yeah, make sure you hit the follow. That will get you notifications. So when we go live at 10 a.m. tomorrow, you get to see a different setup. So today we are in the lovely, hi Cam, Ice Cream Studio.
Which one? This one here?
Oh, I'm changing backwards and forwards. That's what I'm doing. And back over there, hey!
I'm pointing at all the wrong ones.
So yeah, there you go. We have the Ice Cream Studio today. Tomorrow, I will be broadcasting from the home studio, so you get to see my home setup, which we do. We do for the foreseeable anyway. So make sure you hit follow now. You'll see that then. We do have all of the social channels. So !socials. If you want to type that in the chat, you will get links to all of our social channels dropping down below. We aren't done for the day though. In 39 minutes ish, Josie will be live on the channel. She starts playing through Dishonored 2. And we've had some badass social artwork on that. So make sure you go to twitter.com /Ice Cream Uploads or at Ice Cream Uploads on Twitter, and you will see some cool artwork designed by our man in the chat. Where is it? Next Gen Renegade, Mr. Craig James Pitt. He's the Ice Cream Uploads colorer.
He is.
He's our resident designer. He's done some cool social artwork for Josie in the Dishonored style. So make sure you go check that out as she starts Dishonored 2 today. But for the next thing at the home studio, I want Bibby on the shelf, Graham.
Just taking requests.
That's so much easier than having Bibby. The only issue is with getting Bibby on the shelf or on the shoulder is finding the image of like something to put him on, because I found that dude that I sat at the bottom of the corner of the screen. The reason I had to put him at the bottom corner of the screen though is because the image cut off at the feet.
Yeah.
So it'd have been Bibby just like with stump legs kind of thing. And I thought,
Leave my legs alone.
I don't want to do this to him. So maybe we'll see what we can find material wise. But until next time, anything you want to add to the lovely people at home, Bibberino?
Laters.
Yeah. So that's it from Ice Cream Uploads. This has been The Scoop for Tuesday. And until next time, stay frosty.